Good morning. My name is Barney Bishop, president of the Downtown Business Association of Tallahassee. So let's give Gregg Patterson a warm welcome this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning, and let me share with you about Choose Tallahassee. How many people have heard of Choose Tallahassee? Tallahassee is a great place to live, and let me share with you a little bit about Choose Tallahassee. We're going to talk about ways how it can positively impact you and how it's good for our community, and why we love Tallahassee. Who in here loves living in Tallahassee? Okay. All right. Choose Tallahassee. We were founded in 2011 by Capital Health Plan. Was ranked as the #1 Medicare HMO in the nation back in 2011. And the original mission was, so what they wanted is more people to move here and sign up for the Medicare HMO. And the original mission was to focus on baby boomers. And it was with an all-volunteer organization led by Ken Boutwell, Marjorie Turnbull, Ron Sachs, Virginia Glass, Anna Johnson, Dave Bruns, Michelle Bona. Al's been around for quite a long time, and it was an all-volunteer organization. And they had some pretty good successes. The initial driver, like I said, was to attract boomers. And according to the USA Today, boomers have 70% of the disposable income. They account for a lot of the consumer spending. They're the fastest growing segment of our population. And the median income's pretty good. So the focus was on boomers. And there's 5 factors that attract people. One is the climate. People like the 4 seasons. A lot of people move from other places. There was a discussion by Ken Bell I thought was a great idea. We were going to have a snow shovel buyback. So for $35, we'll buy your snow shovel, and we're going to pile them up someplace and just start building a monument. So we still might do that. Yeah. If people move because of the health care, the cost of living, I've interviewed some people. I've heard someone move from California. There's some very expensive places I've had some businesses relocate. I interviewed a fellow that moved his business here, and I said, "Why did you move here?" And he said, "Well, you have no taxes." And I did not want to move. He came from Silicon Valley. He did not want to move down to South Florida with all the traffic. And I said, "Well, how do you like it here?" And he says, "A quaint town, and my cost of employment and my cost of real estate is much lower here." That's a university town. I mean, to me, some people say, "Well, let's not be in a university town," but that's part of who we are. I think that gives us a small town atmosphere with major big town amenities. It's not just the sports, it's the theater, it's the arts, and I'll share a little bit with what's going on there. And the recreational activities up here, we've got one of the top rated parks and recreations. We got great greenways. So we have what a lot of people want when we stop and looked at it. We have the no state income tax, like I mentioned. We got the 4 seasons. We got quality health care. We just had a big expansion over at TMH. We're a university town with FSU, FAMU, and TCC. I think that brings about 70,000 students to the area. And the cost of living is pretty reasonable. Recreation, like I said, and we've got access to the coast. It's not too far of a drive to get world-class beaches at St. George. But in 2017, they decided to reinvent Choose Tallahassee. And they'd had some successes. You may remember they had a contest where you could win free place to live for a year. And that got a lot of national attention. And it's amazing for an all-volunteer group. A lot of our started being ranked by some of these organizations that rank places to live. But they wanted to move it to the next level. So we decided to reinvent the economic model and shift from an all-volunteer, because we think Choose Tallahassee could be a major economic driver for everyone in Tallahassee. So they hired me through my company, and what happened is when they hired me through my company, I have a business as a card dealer. We do back office for different organizations and nonprofits. But with that, I'm working for them, but they have no rent, no insurance, no overhead, so it really drives down the cost. So we decided we're going to raise $125,000, and we put out 15 requests for proposals to as far as our marketing company. We ended up we wanted to revamp the website and really update that and implement a marketing program. And we work in partnership. Carrie Post, who just walked in, she's getting people to visit here, and we're getting people to move here. So, and we work in very close partnership with the folks who visit Tallahassee. They do a great job. And we also implemented a marketing program using social media and email blasts. Our sponsors, and I've got sponsor packets if anybody's interested. We have community banks, Mary's Bank, Prime Meridian is a member, Capital City Banks. We have healthcare, TMH. We have the universities, FSU, FAMU. We have the city and county help a little bit. We have builders and development, the real estate community, and we're unique that it's all driven. We're not part of the chamber. We're not part of the city or county. We partner with them, and I think that makes us somewhat unique. What happened in the first year was like, holy cow. It was with a little bit of luck. We like to say it's because of our smarts. But we had kicked off a marketing campaign. In the first 6 months, the New York Times did a story on us, and I was like, holy cow. We were in front of 56 million readers. It was reprinted in the Las Vegas Sun, AARP magazine. Our website had video views of over 20,000 people. We had 20,000 people come to our website, 30,000 people watch our videos. And I got to give Val Stern credit. They did really creative with the videos. We were still focusing just on boomers then. But they had a couple you'd see on Facebook, and we would target them and just have them sitting in a kitchen. And behind them are all these kids running around smearing stuff on the refrigerator and screaming. And he looks over at his wife, God, wouldn't it be nice to have a babysitter? Wouldn't it be nice if our parents were babysitters? We'll click on this button below, and we'll help you get a babysitter. Unbeknownst to the parents, they get a video that said, wouldn't it be nice to have free labor? It shows someone out by the pool, the kids cleaning the pool. Or free IT support. He's going, the older guy's going, what's my password? And the daughter's helping him find his password. And I have to give them credit. They were really creative. We had 500 people sign up to be on our email list. And we did all of this with a complete budget of about $125,000. And that was everything. And we drive down our expenses. One thing you'll find, I have a sign up if you'd like to be on our email list. We meet every other month. But what makes us unique is we're grassroots. We've got volunteers from all over the community, and we're bragging about what Tallahassee is. So, recent rankings, we're in Southern Living, number 9, the best cities in the South, livability, best place to live. These rankings are starting to really spread, and we're starting to get a lot of national attention. And then something to share with you is, we're focusing on the boomers. And then, if you remember about a year ago, football season wasn't quite as good as we would have liked it to be, and we know it's going to be better this year. Then we had a hurricane. We had the shootings. We had tweets from the president, negative tweets about Tallahassee. And we all kind of gathered and said, that's not us. We're better than that. And we decided to leverage our past successes to create a broader image. We had, I had a call at that point in time from TMH. They just did their expansion. They said, we're trying to recruit 400 medical personnel. And we would like you to be the positive place to live, because when we're trying to recruit someone, they're always going to ask, and the trailing spouse, what's it like to live in Tallahassee? So then we had OEV, Office of Economic Vitality, come to us and said, we would like you to be, what's it like to live in Tallahassee when we're trying to recruit business to Tallahassee. Working with FSU, we've been working with them on recruiting boomers for the boosters, but now they've come to us and said, we want you to shift because we're trying to recruit faculty. So they had 120-something new faculty came in. And these people make $80,000 to $200,000 a year. I mean, think of the economic impact on our community. They buy houses and they shop in all of our businesses. In fact, we just had a welcome event put on by Lester Hutt up at the old Capitol, and we filled the second floor of new people. That's something I can share with you in a minute. We're going to connect with people when they move here. So we're going to be we're now in the middle of shifting our focus. It's called Choose 2.0, and you'll get ready to see a big media blitz on that. We have not shifted our website yet. It's going to cost me $20,000. I'm in the midst of trying to raise $20,000. So if anybody has a checkbook with them, I'll accept checks. But really, it's pretty inexpensive for what we're doing. So we're in the middle of doing that. And we want to tell the world what it's like to live in Tallahassee. Kind of the architecture of our website would be, we work with Visit Tallahassee, as you'll see here. And then why we love living in Tallahassee. We'll probably have something about entrepreneurship with DOMI, or the School of Entrepreneurship is ranked as #1. And one thing I found, I love living in Tallahassee, but being an executive director, it has reminded me of all the things that make us unique. I mean, last night I went to Village Square, which gets people to talk to each other. There's no other place that has anything like that. I have people come and say, what about the community chorus? What about, they're talking about, FSU is now coming to me and say, we're trying to reach out to the community and talk about all the things that we have that people don't know about. They know about our football, and they want more people to go to their soccer games, but they have theater, they have arts, they have a museum, so they're trying to work through us to reach out to the community. But when people come to ask about us, we want to talk about what are our neighborhoods like, what are the new housing like. Canopy is a partner of ours, and we work a lot with the real estate community, with Coldwell Banker as a sponsor. What's our health care like? We're expanding our health care. Historically, many people go out of town for a major medical crisis. I think we're starting to narrow that down to have a higher level of medical care here. TMH is a partner of ours, like I said, and we're working with them to help recruit medical personnel. And stop and think about when they recruit a doctor or an RN, or just think of the economic impact on our community, positive economic impact that they'll have on our community and on your business. And Carrie will like it because they come visit first. We're going to talk about our schools. We got higher ed. We've got FSU, FAMU, and TCC, great institutions. Just met with Rocky Hanna. They want to talk about the K through 12 schools, and we can also be a positive impact as they need to recruit teachers. So I believe they're going to come on soon. We're going to talk about volunteering and mentoring here. A lot of whether you're a boomer or if you come here, they're one of the people that start new businesses, and one of the biggest group of people starting a new business. We have a new thing coming out called Third Act, and it's working with ARP and DOMI. It's to encourage people that are over 50 to start a business. So they came up with the name, give them the tools to be able to do that, and they call it the Third Act. I said, I like that name as long as you don't call it the Last Act. And we talk about our financial institutions. We want to tell it when we shift, we want to tell our story. It's like with our hometown banks. We want to give them the ability to tell their story. And we don't want to be too commercial, but we want to be unique and encourage people to shop with our partners. Lifestyle. I mean, think of the lifestyle in our community. Think of COCA. Think of the Lemoyne Arts in the Park, and everything that goes on in our community is. I mean, the lifestyle is something that really sold me. I love our greenways and our parks. A lot of people don't realize if you start at Leon High, you can go all the way to Wacola High, you know, on the trail, St. Mark's Trail, and it'll eventually go to Caribou. And it goes to St. Mark's now, and all the greenways we have all over town. You know, also, you know, talking about the walking, I do have a card in here where you can sign up for Move Tallahassee. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But when people come to our website, we want to tell our story. And there's a lot of stories to be told. We were at a session where we were talking about, you know, what do you like about Tallahassee? And people talked about, and some people in the room were in that session, it wasn't just football, it wasn't just oak trees, but they all had a personal story that made them stay in Tallahassee or come to Tallahassee. One fellow talked about when he first came here, he went to a convenience store and he was like a nickel or quarter short, and someone behind us was here. Or people, someone talked about a story that they moved here and they were sick and people were bringing them food. It's all about the people in Tallahassee. And that's another thing that we're trying to propagate throughout our community is, you know, we're trying to get people to continue. What's going to make us unique is let someone ahead of you at the grocery store. We let people out in traffic. We wave to people in traffic. And I encourage people to wave, but wave with your whole hand and not with one finger. But all that makes us can make us the friendliest city. We just got to remind ourselves of that. When we're up in Greenville, yeah, some of us stood up and I said, I think we've got an inferiority complex about Tallahassee. You know, we've got some issues we've got to address. You know, the crime and the economic disparity. And we've got to work on that. I think there's a great article in today's paper by Lorraine Osley on some initiatives to work with the South Side. My Rotary, Sunrise Rotary, we adopted Bond Elementary School. But I think we as a community, we can't ignore that, and we've got to address that. But stop and think about it. You know, they talk about crime, but I don't feel unsafe here, and I go all over town. Do we need to address that and work on it? Yes. But we're trying to work with people recruiting, so it's not the first thing that comes up when you Google Tallahassee is the crime. So we're going to start putting some more good news out there. As you can see, we're in the supporting role. You know, with the chamber or OEV or the universities or TMH or with Visit Tallahassee or CHP, it's just, we're not doing the recruiting, we're just a tool in the toolbox on what's it like to live here. So, we're in the middle of shifting to that. I was even meeting with a CPA firm the other day on something with my business, and they're talking about the challenge they have in recruiting. So, I think we can be a positive tool for everyone. Kind of what our three-step process is. First, we get them to visit. And we're talking about maybe after an FSU home football game, maybe have a brunch the next morning. We were going to do a visit weekend last year, but that's when the hurricane hit, so it kind of shot us in the foot. And then we get them to move here with our unique neighborhoods and all the reasons that we love living in Tallahassee. But then we want them to connect and stay here. We've just put up a new portal that we're still beta testing. What had happened to me is when I go to church or I have a move walk, I'm always running into someone who says, I just moved here. And there's nothing that says when you move to a town that you must register when you come to town. So trying to measure that is a challenge. You know, we've looked at, Doris Malloy is going to get, now we're going to start using a card she's going to hand out when you register your vehicle where you can go to our portal. And our portal is going to be to encourage people to sign up. And we're not going to try to sell you used cars or try to put you on a mailing list. We're going to have welcome events, kind of like what Lester had up at Capitol, and to welcome you and let you connect with a town. And when you first move to a town, it's kind of like, you know, what do? I don't know anybody, and you kind of got to find your own tribe. You know, where do I go to church, or where's the best place for Italian food? So with that portal, if they go to that, they get invited to welcome events, but also we're working with local restaurants to maybe a discount, or with FSU is going to offer various tickets to events. So we want to connect with them, and I think that's also, we want to retain talent. So with that, we're trying to address all that. And again, we're doing this on a budget of $150,000 a year. And I think which makes us unique, because we're not part of the city or county or chamber, that we can be a little more nimble and we can drive down the expenses of doing that, of success. But again, it takes everyone in our town to make it work. And like I have said, this is going to be for the benefit of everyone. And what we are is we're inclusive, not exclusive. We've just set up a formal marketing committee, which Dan's on. We've got a board of directors. And just, we were floored with Marjorie Turnbull said, I've never seen this before. We asked 15 people if they'd serve on the board, and no one said no. Mary's on the board. We have FSU's on the board, TCC's on the board, TMH is on the board. We have Anita Favors is on the board. Doreen Cabello from FAMI is on the board. Antonio from DOMI is on the board, and several other people. And when you look, what we're proud of, when you look at our board, we're diverse in age, ethnicity, and trying to cover the whole community. So that's what we're trying to drive. We're asking everyone to be ambassadors. I've got some pins, I think Mary has. Where are the pins? It says Choose Tallahassee. We're always looking for partners and strategic partners, and if you're interested, ask me about that. I've got a sign-up sheet, and we just send information about when we meet. Sometimes we might meet at Fruit Brewery and be networking and say what's new, but you see a little bit of all of Tallahassee. So why is Choose Tallahassee the one to do it? We're independent. I think it gives it a little more authenticity, just coming from grassroots. That we're nimble, we're low cost, we're unique. We've got the passion, and everyone in this room is the key to our success. I mean, everyone raise their hand that they love Tallahassee. Become an ambassador, join the action team. I've got a sign up out here. You can help us close a sale. If you have any ideas, I welcome that. If you want to volunteer, right now I'm putting together committees for the welcome events. I'm putting together committees to make the portal work, to go out and find benefits and how we're going to manage that. But it's a grassroots effort. So, I always like to, I'll do question and answer, but I always finish when I write in the paper with the words, "Are you in?" So, with what I'm talking about and choosing Tallahassee and being an ambassador, are you in? Yes. Let me ask one more time. Are you in? Yes. With that, see me afterwards if you have questions, and thank you for letting me share about Choose Tallahassee. Thank you.